Hello and welcome back to another video. So today we will be learning about this beautiful beaded tote bag. So today I'll be using these two beads over here. This yellow bead, faceted bead in 8mm. This one is a faceted bead, and this one is metallic gold bead in 6mm. So I'll be mixing both of them to make the bag, and I'll show you how I'm going to make it. So over here along the line I'll be using my cutter to be cutting thread, and this is my fishing line. This is the thickness of it. This is how it's looking like, fishing line, regular fishing line. Let's get started. So this is my line that I cut, and we are going to start with 4 beads. I'm going to start with the metallic gold bead, 4 flower beading. So I'm going to string these 4 on the line, and I'm going to cross the last bead. This is how it's looking like. Okay, I put 4 on the line. So I'm going to cross the last bead with my other end of the line and pull like this. We have 4 flowers down, and on each line, this is the number of beads that I added. I put 2 yellows, and in between I put the gold bead. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the gold bead and pull like this. And I'm going to repeat the 4 flowers again. On each line I put gold bead. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the gold bead and pull just like this. This is how the pattern is looking. This is the technique we are going to use. So on each line I put 2 yellows, and in between 1 gold bead, and I'm going to cross both ends of my line into this gold bead and pull. Just like that, like this. Now we have 2 down, and we'll continue. Each line 1 gold bead on each line like this. I put gold bead on each line. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line into another gold bead to make another 4 flower beading in the middle. Just like this. This is the technique we are going to use throughout the entire week. So here 4 flower, we continue with this 4 flower in between, continue 4 flower, and now we are going to make the bigger flower again. This is what we are going to repeat. So on each line I put 2 yellow bead, and in between gold bead, in between the yellow bead, and I'm crossing both ends of my line into the gold bead and pull like this. Again, let me repeat one more time. We are going to repeat the 4 flower beading at the end. 1 gold bead on each end, and I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the bead and pull like this. So we are going to continue, and I want you to repeat this. I'm going to make 8 of this. We are going to repeat the same thing 8 times. And now here's my 8, and I'm crossing my line into this gold bead and pull. So we made 8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the 9th. I'm going to turn on the 9th. I'm going to turn on this one. This line, 3 bead. I put 3 gold bead on the line. That way my line can turn on the side, so I can continue my second row. So I flip it over to my side, and now we are going to start the second row. This line into the yellow bead. I'm going to take it through the yellow bead. This line, I add 3 beads, and in between 3 gold beads. I cross and pull. And I'm going to pull my line again, this line into the gold bead, only the gold bead. This line, 2 beads. Cross the other end into the bead and pull. Then you make 4 flowers in the middle. This line into the yellow bead, gold and the yellow. So we are going to go through all these 3 beads over here. And I'll be adding 1 gold bead, cross into the gold bead and pull. And I'm going to go through the gold bead, and I'll be adding 2 beads. I'm going to go through all these 3 over here, the yellow, the gold, and the yellow. Go through all. This line, so I add 2 yellows and in between 2 gold beads. I'm going to go through the gold bead, and I'll be adding 2 beads. So this is how the technique and the pattern is going. Look at how beautiful it's looking like. So continue to the end. This is the technique and the pattern we are going to use to complete this row. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also turn on your notification for any new video that I'll be uploading. Please also consider to join the membership and become a member today to support this channel. Thank you. So continue to do yours and I'll do mine to the end. We are going to continue to the end. And this is how it's looking like. Very beautiful design, very beautiful pattern. And now I'm coming to the end. I'm coming through, going to go through the gold bead. This line, 2 bead. I'm going to go through the yellow bead and the gold bead on the top. So I go through the yellow first and go through the gold bead. So I'm going to add bead on both ends of my line. I'm going to add bead on both of my line. So I turn and we are going to make the 3rd row. This line, I add 2 yellow bead and in between gold bead, and over here too 1 yellow bead and 1 gold bead, like this. Now we are going to start the 3rd row. This line, 3 bead. I pick up 3 gold bead. So we are going to make 4 flowers over here and continue. You see, we have 4 flowers, the next 4 flowers. So we are going to continue with the pattern, and I'm going to go through these 3 bead over here. This line, 2 yellows and in between 2 gold bead. And I'm going to go through only the gold bead. Add 2 bead. I'm going to go through all these three over here. And I'll be adding this bead. The same number of bead we are adding, that's what we are going to continue to add and make it. By using the same technique to do it. Into the next bead, 2 bead. I'm going to go through these 3 bead and continue to the end. So here I'm almost to complete this row, and I'm in the gold bead. I'm going to go through the gold bead alone, and I'll be adding 2 bead. So I added 2 bead to this line, and I'm crossing the last one with the other line. That way my line turns to the side so I can continue again. We have both 4 flower beading over there, the same thing. You should always take note and have this line into the yellow bead. I'm going to go through only the yellow bead over here, and this is the number of bead I'll be adding. 3 yellows, and in between I put gold bead. Into the gold bead, 2 bead. You have to make sure you are counting the number of bead in the ring so you don't make a mistake. So I'm going to go through these 3 bead over here. And this is the number of bead I'll be adding. 2 yellows, 2 gold bead. Into the gold bead, 2 bead. I'm going to go through and then complete, make another row, and I'll meet you here. So here I'm going to weave it fast. I want you to go and complete yours too. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. So, and turn on your notification so you don't miss out on any video that I'll be uploading. So here I'm coming to an end too. Coming to the end of this row, and I'm adding 2 bead over here. I'm using the same technique that we are using. Into the gold bead and the yellow bead. So I'm going to go through the yellow bead first and into the gold bead. Like this. This is where your line should be. This line, 2 bead, and the other line too, I add 1 yellow and 1 gold bead. So this is how it's looking like. Very beautiful design. And now that you learn how to make it, we are going to make another roll again. Here's how it completes. This is very beautiful design. Like this, I want you to continue. We are going to make 1 row, another row, turn and make another roll again. And I'll meet you back here. I'll do mine off camera. So now we complete the row. I made this row, turn and make this one to the end. So here my line, this is the number of bead I add to my line, and my line is in the gold bead. But I'm going to just open it and tie it over here. Tie and tie nice and neat. Then I'm going to weave the rest of my line into the bead and cut it off. So here we complete over here. This is the row that we just complete, and this is where we started, okay? Now when you see the corners of these two here, you see this corner over here and this corner, it doesn't look like this one. Okay, so we are going to make it to look like these two corners. So all 4 corners have to end in 8 flower beadings. So these 2 corners, they end in 8 flower beading, but here is not. This corner is not. So the 2 of them, we are going to complete it to look like the other side. So I'm getting my fresh line and I'm going to go through this bead. I'm going to go through this gold bead and the yellow bead. Gold bead and the yellow bead, okay? Here and this one. And this is the number of bead. I'm adding 3 bead. In between I put gold bead. Cross with the other end of your line and pull. Now we make it a square. You see it's the same, looks the same. Let's continue to the end. So we are going to continue using the same technique to the end and complete the other corner too. I enter the gold bead and I'm adding 2 bead. I'm going to go through this 3 bead. And I'm adding 2 gold bead and 2 yellow bead. Into the gold bead, 2 bead. I'm adding 2 bead onto my line, cross it and pull. So we make a flower in between. That is how you get your 4 flower in between. So I'm going through this 3 bead over here. I'm using the same technique that we are using. We are going to use that technique throughout the entire weave. I'm going through this yellow one too. And this is the number of bead I'm adding. So this is how it's looking like. I'm going to continue to the end, continue to the end. And here I'm on the last one. This is the number of bead I added, and I'm going to cross and pull. So this is how it's looking like. This is our base for the bag. This is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful design. Very beautiful. This is how it's looking like. You see the 4 corners look the same. It has to look the same. Okay, so over here I want my line to be in the gold bead. I want my line to be in the gold bead. So I'm changing position for it. The last one we just did, I want the line, because we are not going to make another row, I want my line to remain in the gold bead. The top, this one right here, this bead. This line, 3 bead. We are going to continue. So I'm going to continue round this shape. I'm going to go to these 3 bead, this and this one. Yellow, gold and yellow. And I'm going to add 2 yellow bead and in between 2 gold bead. The same technique, repeat the same technique. So I'm going to go round the shape. Two bead. I'm going to go through these 3. And this is the number of bead I'll be adding. 2 yellow, 2 gold bead. Now into the gold bead, two bead, and I go through the 3 bead and I'm adding 2 yellows and 2 gold bead. Use the same technique, round the edges. Now I'm going to go through the gold bead, 2 gold bead, now right here on the corner I'm going to go through the yellow bead. Go through the yellow bead. So I'm going through this yellow bead over here, and on this line 2 bead, 2 yellow, in between I put gold bead. I'm crossing into the gold bead and pull. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the gold bead, this line into the gold bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead, this line 2 bead. Now make 4 flower over here and continue, and I'm going to go through this 3 bead over here, and I'll be adding 2 yellow bead. In between I put gold bead. I'm using the same pattern, the same technique. I'm going to go through the gold bead, two bead, so I'm going to continue to the end. I'm going to stop over here, and this is how the pattern is looking like. So continue to the next corner. I'm going to another corner, and I'm going to go through the gold bead over here into the gold bead, and I'm adding 2 gold bead. I'm going to go through the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead, this line 2 bead, and in between I put gold bead. So right here, that's written on the corner over there, I'm going to go through this gold bead and add 2 bead. I'm going to continue into the 3 bead, and I'm adding 2 bead, 2 yellow, in between 2 gold bead, 2 bead. I go through the 3 bead and I'm adding 2 yellows in between 2 gold bead. I'm going to go through the gold bead, 2 bead. I'm just weaving the same technique to weave over here, and now we are on another corner. I'm going through this gold bead over here, and I'll be adding 2 bead. I'm going to go to the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead, 2 yellows in between 2 gold bead. We are just going around the shape, weaving around it. So I add 2 gold bead, and I'm going to continue to the last corner over here. Okay, now that I'm on the corner over here, my line is in 2 bead, and this is the number of bead I'm adding to my line. Okay, so my line is in yellow and gold bead over here, these two, and this is the number of bead I added. I'm going to cross into the gold bead. So because my line is too short over here, this is how the design is looking. I'm just going to weave it, the rest of the line, into my bead and cut it off, and this is how the design is looking like. This is the base that we created. Okay, this is how it's looking like. Now I cut a fresh new line, and I'm going to go into this bead over here. I'm going to pull it through this yellow bead over here. I'm going to go to this and this one. I'm going to all the 3 bead. I'm going to the gold and the yellow bead. Like this, 1, 2, 3. My line is in 3 bead. This line, 2 gold, 2 yellow bead, and 3 gold bead. I'm going through the gold bead and add 2 bead. So over here too, what I'm doing, I'm going around the edges, just going around the shape, weaving round the shape, round and round, until you complete, come all around it. This is how it's looking like. So we are going to use the same technique, and this says the same design, use the same technique. If you complete, you go around the shape, this is what you have. This is the shape you have. If you go around the edge of the base that we created, this is what you have. We are going to continue again to build on this one. So make sure you have this one before we build on it, and this is what you're going to go around the shape, weave the same weave that we are weaving, and this is where I am. I'm just continuing over here. I'm going to continue to make it my desired length that I want it to be. I'm adding 2 yellow in between 2 gold beads. I'm going to go through the gold bead, 2 bead. So this is how we are going to continue again. Continue around the shape, build on it, how tall you want the bag to be for you. That is how you are going to weave it. So continue round, round and round and round until you make your desired length that you want. So this is what we have right now, and I'm going to do the rest of camera. Very beautiful design. This is so gorgeous, very beautiful. And now I'm at the last end of it, and I'm going to complete over here. So I'm weaving my last 2 over here. I'm going to go through the gold bead, add 2 bead. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please do share my videos to friends and loved ones that may find this video very helpful. Thank you. I'm going to go through the yellow and the gold bead. This is the last one that I'm going to do over here. I'm going to go through all these 3 beads. I'm going to go through the gold, go through the yellow, and into the gold bead on the side. This is the number of bead that I'm going to complete over here. Because I have gold bead over there, I don't need to add gold again. I just have to complete it. You see, we have gold bead right here already, so I don't have to add gold bead. This is the number of bead I need to complete it. I'm going through my yellow bead, and the rest of the line I'm going to weave it into the bag, or if you like, you can tie over here first. You tie first before you weave the rest of the line back into the bag. But I'm going to just weave it into the bag and pull my thread tight. Very, very beautiful. Look at how beautiful this design is looking like. Very, very beautiful. Look at how it is. This one, we just have to put handle on it, then it makes a complete bag. Because a bag without a handle is not complete. So we are going to put handle on it, and I make this handle. This is how it's looking like. Okay, I make it with white. So I'm going to use it to attach to the bag like this. This is how it's going to look like. And there you have it. The handle is attached, and we have a beautiful bag. Very, very beautiful design. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, and please subscribe and share my videos. Please consider to become a member today to support my channel. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.